Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Pacing the Pension, and if this is your first time here, I'm Jeff. If in my channel I concentrate on three spans as retirees, or as like me that may be looking for a second retirement, or those that are looking for their first retirement and everything. Those three spans are lifespan, health span, and wealth span. Today's video actually hits all three of those spans. A lot of health span, but because of that health span, it's allowing me to get an early start in planning the lifespan. And because of my military veterans benefits, what I'm planning for won't touch the WellSpan engine at all, minus the travel cost. First, to keep myself accountable for my training for the Indy Monumental Marathon, week 2 of the marathon training is officially in the books. We logged nearly 27 miles for this week, which the plan called for 25, and it was capped off by a 12-mile group run that started at the Running Souls store, incorporated more of the running group at the Farmers Market, and then closed back out with a small group headed back towards the Running Souls store to finish it off. But that wasn't the biggest milestone of the day. The biggest milestone of the day happened right after the run. I took a trip out to the Abraham Lincoln Birthplace National Historical Park in Hodgenville, Kentucky. And not only did I go, but I went with my oldest son. And the biggest thing was I was able to secure an incredible asset for my retirement lifestyle. That's this pass right here. Be able to get the military lifetime pass to all 400 parks is amazing. And to even understand that even better, I was able to pick up a passport book that has all 400 of the parks listed in it, where you can get stamps and stickers to put in there and everything in here. I'm dropping stuff out of it already. But this book here with all the different parks and everything that are in there, and to be able to get out there and yesterday get in there and actually get the stamp and everything for this for the Abraham Lincoln. Excuse me while I pick up that piece of paper I dropped. So, but yeah, so this lifetime pass was an amazing thing to be able to pick up yesterday, and it allows me to get into all 400 plus national parks and reservations and riverfronts and all that are out there that some people have to pay money to get into, but I'm able to get into for free. And definitely helps with thinking about my lifespan and being able to get out and being available for my family, my friends, and all that, to be able to do some of those great, wonderful things. For my fellow veterans watching, and especially those that have service-connected disabilities, this pass is completely free. If you're on active duty or as a member of the Reserves or National Guard, you can get a free annual membership. But for us service-connected veterans, especially those that are 100%, this pass is completely free and grants lifetime entry to over 400 parks, like I mentioned, and federal recreational lands across the country. You know, when we talk about pacing the pension and building out a lifestyle plan, it's not just about hoarding the cash in an account. It's about knowing and understanding and actively leveraging that hard-earned benefits that you spent years in uniforms securing. Yesterday, I was able to not only get my lifetime pass, but my son, who was in the National Guard, was able to get his annual pass. This was a great time for him and I, and that was why I included that part of the thumbnail in the picture with him and I at the park yesterday. I put the physical work in during the morning, or the afternoons, or in the evenings, to help build up my lifespan, my health span. Why? So I have the energy and the stamina to go out and build memories like this. Your wealth is meant to fund the experiences, but this pass isn't going to just sit in my wallet. It's going to be my golden ticket for exploring the country with my family, my wife, my kids, and if that's in the future, any grandkids, and starting with the family trips that we have planned in the very near future. One of those trips that's coming up is actually coming this coming week, and where I'll be taking my wife, my mother-in-law, and my sister-in-law, and the 4 of us are going to go out to Yellowstone for 3 days and visit all the great, wonderful sights of Yellowstone. It'll be our first, for all 4 of us, it's going to be our first trip out there to be able to see the wonderful things that the park has to offer. I can't wait for it. It's going to be an amazing trip. Some would say that I'm probably be driving Miss Daisy, and that's okay. You know, I get to hang out with a lot of generation there, or multi-generation, you know, with my mother-in-law and my wife and my sister-in-law, and, you know, age gap from 84 down to 41. And so it's going to be amazing to be able to spend that time together and all four of us be able to see some sights that none of us have seen before. So I'll get it from our own perspective, our own eyes, versus on camera or on pictures and all that. So, but let me pivot back to week 2 completion and show you the results and the numbers to keep me accountable. So as you can see, week 2 of 18 to get to Indianapolis, the plan called for 4 miles on Monday. I accomplished that. There was 6 miles on Tuesday. I got all 6 miles of that. Called for 5 miles on Thursday. Got all 5 of those. And then on Saturday, I called for 10. And then that's where I was able to pick up the 12. So for the plan was to get 25 miles for week 2. And I ended up actually getting 27. Now I'll tell you, those 27 miles was hard, especially early in the week when I was trying to run in the evenings after getting off work. That dog days of summer are truly a thing here in Kentucky. And it was hot, muggy, and just unbearable, like a convection oven. It was one of those kind of weeks, right, where you just never know what you're going to get, and it's hard to breathe, hard to get out there. You just step outside and you start sweating automatically. I planned out the week as best as I could, and those afternoon convection style runs, weren't what I wanted to do, but I had to get them done, to keep myself accountable. And there was a little bit of breaks in between some of those miles, just to be able to get rehydrated and make sure that I had it out there. But the other part of what made this week happen is because I have a great group of folks around in this community that were able to come out there and help me get through it and make sure that I got through it. And so I appreciate all those that are within this community here that are all like-minded and want to be able to help each other out, even on the toughest days of Kentucky weather, to be able to get those runs in. Consistency on the road is what's going to give you the physical freedom to enjoy those landmarks that are in our country. And I look forward to being able to see a lot more of those landmarks and being able to be consistent on the roads, be able to get myself consistent, to be able to have a successful Indy Marathon, and to be able to take what I'm getting from that health span and doing this for my health span, to be able to go enjoy the lifespan with my mother-in-law, sister-in-law, and my wife. And then in the future, any other trips we do with the family, with my kids and all that, it's going to be amazing to be able to go try to see how many of those parks we can actually get the stickers and the stamps for, to say that we have accomplished. And that's one of those things now I can say that I have for one of those future things I want to be able to accomplish with my family. As you can see in that week 2 plan, we hit all the targets, and we're on plan for that Indy Marathon in week 2 or in week 18. Plus, we banked a few extra miles, and knowing that the only reason I banked those extra couple of miles was because in the coming week, it's going to be a little bit hard and a little bit more creative on my part to be able to, with all the activities of being able to fly, get to Nashville, fly to Bozeman, do all the walking around and sightseeing of Yellowstone. I got to be creative on how I get my miles in for this coming week, for week 3. But I'll provide that along with updates on how the trip went and everything next week. My final thoughts: don't leave your veteran benefits on the table, and don't neglect that physical engine required to enjoy all those things. Go get your pass, do your research, and take care of your body. Are you a veteran utilizing the lifetime pass? What's your absolute favorite park I need to add to my bucket list? Let me know in the comments below. Week 2 is officially in the bank, and we'll see you out on the road for week 3. Also, if you would like for me to do a video where I discuss all the benefits that I have found as a retiree and disabled veterans at that, let me know in the comments, and I'll put all my lists together and do a video in the future about what all those wonderful benefits that we have that are offered to us. And most of them are free of charge. And I'll even get into some of the specifics about the state of Kentucky, because that's where I live at, and it's easier for me to find a lot more of those benefits. And there is a lot of benefits that are state specific and everything. So, but I'll do some research if you want me to, and provide a video on that in the future. Just let me know in the comments if that's something that you would like to have. And as always, let's continue to pace that pension.